Hey, everybody. Good morning. Here we are, Monday morning, a little before 7 a.m. I'm just getting out of my sleeping bag, packing up my little camp type thing, or whatever you want to call this place to be out of the rain. It's very wet. It has been raining all night, and it has picked up there for a minute. I haven't had a chance to check the radar today, see whether or not I'm going to be able to work. I have a job lined up and make $100 a day or something. Cleaning someone's yard, bagging up pine needles and stuff that I already do anyways. That's what I always do. I'm always cleaning. I just wanted to touch on something as I pack up here. It's like, how do you even start? How do you even bring up the subject? You all see what you expect to see. And that's particularly true when you look at me. I've turned myself into a mirror. We're all mirrors of each other, but I'm fully conscious of it. 100% conscious of my role in this time. And as this whole scene unfolds, this whole fiasco or snafu or quagmire that we're involved in, it's not about Trump. It's not about Newsom. It's not about Netanyahu. It's not about global politics. It's not about oil. It's not about, cutting down the rainforest. We are a diseased species. You don't need any more proof of that than to realize that we put our own creator on a cross. We all did that. I'm also guilty of that. I know yesterday I ranted and raved about how you're all diseased. I'm a little bit emotional from what has been done to me with my car. And yeah, I say you are all diseased. I'm also diseased. I have the same disease. It's called sin. I'm fully conscious of it. I confess my sins and I strive to not sin. He who knows him, something about in 1 John chapter 3, that whoever knows God purifies himself as he is pure. So I'm in the process of purifying myself, in the process of sanctification. But when I say you see what you expect to see, when you look at me particularly, you either see, like if you've trained your mind to be fearful, like if you watch news of any kind, it doesn't matter, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, any of the talking heads, they're trying to tell you what to think about things. You're going to probably hate me. Yeah. Because the world hates God. I just listened to the Gospels last night as I was falling asleep. And a verse jumped out at me from, I think it's Matthew 8. Jesus says straight up, he says, everyone will hate you because of me. Everyone will hate you. Well, most people think you become a Christian, you become a likable person, you become more friendly, more forgiving, more upbeat, more like whatever, civic minded. Bullshit. No, you as a devotee and a disciple of Jesus Christ, you immediately stand against the current of the world. Like literally, all of a sudden, you've done an about face. You are following the current of the world that is just rushing out to sea. The sea is death. The sea is judgment. The sea is hell. And you're all going there. I was as well. I realized, like, this is not going well. This is not going somewhere I want to be. Sitting in my RV in Idaho, I'm like, oh, I'm dying here. I'm literally dying. I'm depressed. I'm fat. I'm obnoxious. I'm socially inept. I don't go out and do anything. I don't have hobbies. I don't have friends. I don't have a life. I work enough to eat and keep this roof over my head, because that's, the fear of this, quite literally, kept me on the treadmill of going to work on the farm, which I didn't like, but I did it. I did exactly everything that Wade Traphagen asked of me, and Michelle, and stack the firewood, cut, feed the pigs, clean the stalls, clean the chicken coop, everything. It was like a 5 hour CrossFit workout every time I showed up. I didn't like it. I did it so that I could keep a roof over my head. But I realized in that RV that I would die like that. And when I died, there'd be probably nobody there. Here's a kind of a morbid story. I was actually trying to save enough money, enough cash, so I could leave enough cash on my table so that if I did die, my brother could bury me. And that's true. I was halfway there. In my mind, I needed $5,000 to afford a reasonable, at least, a grave and a cheap headstone or something. And that's probably not even close to enough. But I was about halfway there. I got $3,000 saved up. And that ended up getting me through winter, even though I had to donate plasma 21 times. Just to keep a roof over my head and a car running, and to pay down the car and to pay off the car. Because in that situation, this was not an option. See, in Idaho, in winter, I would die. And in Idaho, without a car, you would die. There's just no, unless I was positioned in Sandpoint itself and, had a pretty good situation, place to sleep. So, you have to have a car in Idaho. You have to have shelter, 100%. Here, I'm pretty warm. It's nasty out here. It's rough. I don't want to sit out in the rain all day. I don't want to be here. I would much rather I would rather be in my RV, playing my video games and watching my library rented movies and drinking beer and making steak dinners and working when I need to, that kind of thing. And I would say I was working enough because I had saved $3,000 in the summer. So on top of $600 rent, $300 car payment, all the other things I was buying and catching up on. So and child support. So that's $1,000 right there. So what's that? $1,000 at $20 an hour. That's 50 hours of work a month just to cover my living situation. That's not even with food. So food is kind of covered. I did have food stamps, and that did help. $291 a month. But I just wanted to touch on that while I get my shit together. It's Monday morning. It's 7:00, and this place is going to be open within the hour. I have to clean this up, get the cart packed, tarped, positioned somewhere where it's not going to be messed with. I'm not pushing this cart into town today. It's just not happening. They took the car. That's why I came up the hill to get the stuff to stage it in the car, because I don't know what happened to Dove, who offered to let me use her storage unit, but then told me not to push the shopping cart there. So I don't understand how that works exactly. Not exactly sure what's going on there. So this is an exercise in self-reliance, an exercise in responsibility, an exercise in survival. And I'm surviving, but I'm not thriving right now. And that is just literally a product of your collected thoughts towards me. I'm just a mirror. I'm just like, when God takes hands and I become the hands and feet of God, it's because you hate God that you hate me. True story. It's really like you blame God for the problems in your life. I did this for a long time, so I'm speaking from experience. Oh man, I need some Q-tips. My ear's itchy. Someone's talking about me. My left ear is itching. Y'all talking about me. These old wives' tales, they come from some kind of knowledge. I don't know where they come from, but that one seems to be accurate. If your left ear is itching, that someone's talking about you. Maybe I just need a shower in a sauna. I haven't had a shower since Thursday, I think. It's Monday? Yeah, Monday. Weekend was interesting. Did put out a lot of energy. I got a lot of positive feedback. I got a lot of positive. I can't possibly invest more positivity in your town when so much of my energy is taken up with this, just staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. There's the first car. So I probably should get out of the bag and get my rain gear on, get some clean socks on. And that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, we'll see what happens today. I have a kind of an ominous feeling because I get the vibe of this town is like, it's just against me in general. Not completely, but like in general. The pastor's on my case about disobeying government orders. They were like, whoa, wow. Obey all earthly authorities, all that stuff, Romans 13, all that. Pauline, really, his opinion. It's like, dude, when you become a believer, you are in opposition to the world system, quite literally. And if that was true, then we'd have to accept the mark of the beast and all this. So it's going to come to a time where your rebellion will be very literal and will be very illegal. And it will be the only way to survive will be to come out here with me. Quite literally. I'm not trying to scare you guys, but that's just the facts. So thank God I'm out here and preparing a way, being an example. Even Dove says that I'm an example. I'm serving a function in town because I'm the example that burst their bougie bubble. Hold on a second, where did that go? I'm getting all kind of confused. Okay, there's my straps. I'm trying to strap up my backpack. Today I'm out of money, and I would hope that I could work to make some money. My dad sent about 20 bucks yesterday, a little over 20 bucks. And I used that for dinner. I won't do that again. That was nasty. I can be far more frugal than that. I was listening to the advice of my friend Mikey, who's kind of, I need to listen to God alone, and He'll tell me what to do. So, living and learning. I'm on the path. And again, the point of this video when I started was, when you look at me, you see what you expect to see. So some of you know who I am. It's pretty rare. A few of you out there actually see it in the eyes, know who I am and where I'm going with this. Yeah, I will be the president of this country. So that's what's up. I just wanted to touch base with y'all while I get out of my bag and get, outfitted for the day. So here we go. It's Monday morning. Let's see what happens. God bless America, y'all. Over and out.